Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm breaking my rule of heading out in the heat of the day. I'm not even sure what time it is. I think it's about 1 o'clock, but I have a busy weekend ahead in the next couple of days, and I'm not going to be able to do any filming. I'd like to do a little catch-up today, and I have some things going on tonight. So I'm heading out in the heat. Yeah, don't do it. It's way better to do these long walks, and I'll probably be walking around for at least 4 hours, maybe longer. And it's gonna not be comfortable. I would much rather do it at 5, 6, 7 p.m. Like I say, I have something going on, but I am here at my condo in Phrom Phong. I'm gonna jump on the train. I might even take a motorbike up to the train and just save my walking for the Green Mile. They've opened, I guess it's maybe been open a month, the new section from Ratchada going all the way to Lumpini. So let's take a look at the open section, and then take the Green Mile from Benjakitti Park in Asok to Lumpini Park. We have arrived at the Asok station just a few minutes later. Right over in that direction is Terminal 21. You want to go to the opposite side of Sukhumvit and walk downstairs, and less than a 5-minute walk over to Benjakitti Park. And the start or end of the Green Mile, however you want to look at it. There's a lift around here somewhere, but if you're able, let's take the stairs right down. And getting our bearings across the way. Over there where it says Doe Brothers, keep going a little bit to the left, and that's the world famous Soy Cowboy red light area. I don't hang out there as much. There used to be a Stumble Inn that was a great place to sit in the afternoon at noon, 1 o'clock. Just do a little people watching, but it closed up. I know they just opened a Stumble Inn in Hua Hin, and they still have the one on Nana Soi 4, but the Cowboy one, I haven't been over there in a couple of months. Maybe they're remodeling, but it looked like it was a goner. So we're just gonna take a right, and this is a little frontage road, but over here is the main Ratchada or Ratchada. And if you're thinking about getting a dog or bringing a dog over here, it's kind of complicated to find pet-friendly condos. You're going to pay for it. No, there's exceptions to every rule, but I'm going to say there's no way you're going to be able to get a pet-friendly unit anywhere here in the Sukhumvit area for less than 40,000 baht, and most of them are closer to 100,000 baht. They know it's kind of a big time privilege, and they charge accordingly. Now, you're probably going to get an 80, 100 square meter unit, but not always. It might be a 50 square meter unit. It's just pet friendly, and they're charging 80,000 baht. Now, I'm just throwing all these numbers out there, but it's not like a lot of parts of the world where you can pull out some certificate, you print it off online, and this is my service animal and all. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. So do your homework before you make your plans to move on over. And then once you get over here, you find out you're living 20 miles away or 10 miles away, maybe in Lap Prau, something like that, where it's a little bit more affordable to find a pet unit. But even then, my girlfriend lives in Lap Prau, and she's in an apartment building she's been in for 9 years, 10 years. Because it is pet friendly. She has a little Chihuahua, and it's a nice enough place and all, but I was talking to her about hey, don't you want to upgrade your apartment or whatever the conversation was, and she says there is no place to go. If she says my upgrade will be if I bought a condo out here in Lap Prau, and even then not many of the more affordable buildings even in Lap Prau are going to allow you to have a pet. I know my building does not here in Phrom Phong. But with all that said, there is a dog park right at the beginning of the Green Mile here at Benjakitti. They just opened, I think that one's been there 3 or 4 years. They just opened 2 dog parks, one at Benjakitti over in Phrom Phong. That's not really a dog park as much as it's a dog area. It's almost like an enclosed cafe place, and you can bring your dog in there and let it run around. Over here at Benjakitti, it's pretty legit, and the one I've never seen that just opened a month or so ago at Lumpini. It looks pretty nice. Now, at Benjakitti, the large park I'm heading into, 90% of the park, you're not allowed to have the dog at all. There's one section that runs alongside Plonchit Road, which is basically like a big jog path, and I think you can walk with your dog on a leash there. And even the dog park, I'm fairly certain you have to have the dog on the leash at all times. Now, up at Lumphini Park, my buddy said they have the leash area, and then they have what's called the jog area, and it's up to you if your dog's sociable enough to go in there and run around with the other dogs. But this street over here, and this is a little unusual because right there where the train is, that's Sukhumvit, and the next street up is Sukhumvit Soi 18, but Soi 16 is over here where you see that Hotel Clover. So it's really on Ratchada, but 16, 18, and Soi 20, they have quite a few pet-friendly units. Again, there's going to be no bargain price. I know there's a building right here on Ratchada, right across from the dog park, called the Lakes, and you can look that up. I haven't looked up a price in there a long time. I think my buddy has a 2-bed, 1-bath in there, and it's 60 or 70,000 baht. I'm not positive, and that might be a sweetheart deal. He's been in there so long. I know in my area where the Benjakitti Park is, there are some places on Soi 24 that allow pets, but again at a very premium cost. And I don't like to put out information when I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and I'm not sure what's going on with service animals and that type of thing. I do know I've been in California most of my life, and I'll say 99% of the time you'll see folks walking around with hey, there you go, San Diego Artist, Shepherd Ferry. You'll see them walking around with service animal vests that they picked up on Amazon. I've never seen that over here, and I've never seen a dog on a plane over here, and it's just a little tighter. Maybe things are gonna loosen up. I don't really care. I like dogs, but it's getting a little carried away, I think, at times with just somebody declaring they need their dog sitting on a plane next to them, and you know, they're not exactly coming back from the war, and that's their service companion. So I'll just leave it at that. But over here, I think it's a little bit more, where's your note from your doctor that you're seeing impaired? And that is the Lakes. So you can see they're large, beautiful units, and I don't know, I think one goes hand in hand with the other. If you're gonna pay for buy or rent one of these huge, beautiful places, yeah, you can bring Fido. And if you lived around here or at that Lakes, right over there is a 24-hour food land. So this is the new section. Right here. And this is it. This is the beginning of the Green Mile. Now right over here is the dog park, and then beyond that is the main park. It has a beautiful skywalk, and we are walking to, sorry about all the pointing today, I don't have my glasses on, let me zoom in. Right there, if you see those cranes, that's on top of what's going to be the tallest building in Thailand at the One Bangkok Mall, and Lumpini Park is just across from that. So it's more a mile than a kilometer. Green Mile, and whatever that equates to, a mile and 3/4 or 1.75 kilometer. I don't know, I'm not a metric guy. So right there, 50 feet away on the right, is the entrance to Benjakitti Park. I think it opens at 4:30 in the morning. All these parks close at either that or 5 a.m. Google that. All these parks are going to close at 10 p.m. There's a big water feature right there to jog around or walk around. But we're going today walk towards Lumpini, and it's not really anything special, this Green Mile. It's just a nice way to connect between the 2 points. And if you lived over here, say at that Lakes, yeah, take the dog for a nice long walk over to Lumpini, and now you can go into the little dog park that it appears to. I zipped by in a cab. It looks like they built it in part of the parking lot right there at Saracen, the corner of Saracen and Wireless. Wireless being the embassy district, the U.S. Embassy, Vietnamese, Japanese, they're all over there. There must be 20 of them. So just ahead is the bridge to go over to Sukhumvit Soi 10. Nice little connection. I don't know. I've never did a lot of investigating. I think my buddy said he was having a hard time finding a condo on Soi 10 for his little dog. So that would be super convenient to live there and walk straight into the dog park over here. Now it's whatever it is, the middle of the day, so I'm the only dummy out walking in the heat. But after work, this will just be full of folks with their dogs on a leash. It's a nice little green area. And just over here, it's a big, huge water feature. And then on the other side of that is the Queen Sirikit Convention Center. And right where I got off the Asok BTS, that's also the junction for the Sukhumvit MRT, the below ground subway. And if you went up to the next stop, it's Queen Sirikit Convention Center. I think that's the name of the stop, or Queen Sirikit. Yeah, there's nobody in the park. And then you continued a couple of more trains. Oh, I don't have them memorized. There's Klong Tui. Then is it Lumpini? Then Silom. There might be one other. I'm not an MRT Blue guy. But you don't get off at Lumpini. It's better to get off at Silom and walk straight into the park. The Lumpini, you either kind of have to do a little maze underground and pop out at the new One Bangkok, and then you still need to run across Wireless Road, where the Silom train station, you walk directly into the park. I guess it depends where you're going. Oh, that brings up another interesting point. In all my visits, and there's been a lot of them here to Bangkok, I have and living here 4 years now, I've never seen an animal on the train ever. I haven't. Now my girlfriend, she'll even say I can't order a grab or bolt car with my dog and come meet you at the dog park. That is changing. I've seen on the app now pet-friendly car. I think maybe you pay an extra 20 or 40 baht if it's a 200 baht ride, that type of thing. There are some really cool buildings. This one is on the end of Soi 12, looking directly into the park, but that is the end of Soi 12. You can see at the dead end, there's no bridge. But right over here at Soi 10, there is. Now there's no easy way to get from the end of Soi 12 here over to Soi 10. This is all private property, but from Soi 10 to Soi 8, and that nice building, I'm forgetting the name, is at the end of Soi 8. There's a church parking lot that is gracious enough to allow you to walk through there pretty much all day until, I'll walk over there and show you the hours, till 7 p.m. and most of the day on the weekend. So if you live on Soi 8, cut on through there and use the bridge here at Soi 10. And this, oh, you know what? I'm seeing the gates closed up there. What the heck? Yeah, I came by the other day and it was wide open. I can't believe they opened this section and they still are keeping that section closed, because right here it actually turns green and it just goes to the end of Benjakitti. I don't know why they have this closed. I don't see any work going on. Doggone it. Well, it's not bolted shut. There are guards right here and guards right here, so they're probably going to yell at me if I try to go through there, but it definitely appears closed. Anyhow, let's go see what the hours are on that church to cut through from Soi 8. And here's the park hours. I was right, 4:30 in the morning until 10 p.m. The road was constructed and owned by the Tobacco Authority of Thailand. Over at the end of Sukhumvit Soi 4 in Benjakitti are all the old tobacco drying sheds. They're now repurposed for basketball, volleyball, table tennis. They have it all. I think this is the ECB church. We're on Sukhumvit Soi 10 now, off to the left here, and they're really nice about just letting you walk through the parking lot. I'll show these little shortcuts all over Thailand, like hey, this is the Rembrandt Hotel. If you're on Soi 18, just walk right through their parking lot and you pop out on Soi 20. And every now and then some person, probably from my home area of California and all, is all, oh, you're setting people up for a lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. It's really not that bad over here. So here you go. Monday, I don't know why Monday's so different, but Monday from 6 to 9:30, and then again from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. And Tuesday through Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. Maybe they have something going on in the parking lot with the kids. I think there's some school up there. I don't know. But again, the ECB church, very nice of them to let their neighbors use their parking lot, and do so with caution if you're worried about a Thai lawsuit, I guess. Yeah, I really thought the entire Green Mile was open, but I don't know. For whatever reason, and down there where you see the little bit of traffic, that's the end of Sukhumvit Soi 4. So we're going to have to walk through the park and then go down to the Soi 4 section and then get back on the mile heading towards Lumpini. And here's the entrance or exit from the dog park. It goes back over to Ratchada, and that's the lakes. Well, it's a pretty good size. And let's walk through this kind of parking lot area. It's where all those drying sheds are. There's a large parking lot right here. When they had the what was the Asian Pacific Conference, I know the vice president and many prime ministers, they all showed up, and this turned into airport, Pilo port, and from here they would just hustle them over to the Queen Circuit. But for now, it's parking, one for the park and two for all the different sports events that are happening ahead. And once again, getting our boundaries, let me zoom in. The building with the cranes on it, that is the left corner of Lumpini Park. The dog park will be off to the right, almost straight ahead of me. And way off in the distance, let me zoom in, is Med Park Hospital. That's on Rama 4. That's not far from, I'm not saying Benjakitti goes all that way, but darn near, probably 75% from here to that Med Park. All this area, all going over here towards Plonchit Road. That's all Benjakitti, so it's a really nice green space in the heart of the city. The same with Lumpini, and to a smaller degree, Benjakitti Park. And if I'm throwing a lot of names out there, Benjakitti's in Phrom Phong, Benjakitti here in Asok, Lumpini. There's Lumpini Park over there by the Siloam MRT station. You can also get to it from the Saladang BTS on the dark green line. If you're familiar with the train that runs up and down Sukhumvit, that's either just called the green, or sometimes it's called the light green line. The dark green line you would switch at Siam Paragon Mall. That's the Siam Central Station. Walk across the way. It's actually a platformed deal, so you might have to go upstairs or downstairs, I can't remember. And in one direction, the train goes to National Stadium, which is the MBK Mall, and it ends. And the other direction, the dark green line, heads off towards the Chao Phraya River, and before you get there, you can get off at the Saladang BTS, which is a junction for the MRT Blue and Siloam, but they're kind of far apart. Not every junction is as convenient as Asok and Sukhumvit. The blue to the yellow line at Lap Prau, that's a long walk. Saladang and Siloam, that's pretty far. Others are pretty easy. I think the yellow line down at the Samrong station to get over to the light green line, that's not too bad. But I would much rather get off the train at Siloam than Saladang if I was heading into Lumpini. Guess it all depends where you're coming from. This looks like some, I don't know the difference between all these games. The paddle tennis, I guess. I know, what is the new game that's all the rage? Pickleball. That's a big deal in here. Well, right there it says, well, maybe they're playing pickleball. What do I know? It looked like a smaller paddle. I know my buddy plays pickleball, and it looks like a small tennis racket. But they're on the pickleball court with something that looks like a racquetball racket. But you can see foosball court, table tennis, basketball, badminton, pickleball, indoor skate park, spinning, volleyball court. Yeah, that table tennis is something else. It's 30, maybe more deals in there, and tennis tables, ping pong, whatever it is. And they're just going to town. A lot of tournaments. And I'm walking parallel with the green sidewalk, the Green Mile, but it's closed. There is a little, not goofy, but right where the Green Mile ends, and I haven't been in there in years because it's been closed. Over here by Soi 4, you have to go up some stairs, and I'm not exactly sure. We're going to go up the stairs through the park, but it's not rocket science. You'll figure it out pretty darn easy. And we're not really missing anything. I'd rather walk through the park anyhow than that green concrete section over there. Even the other piece of the Green Mile going from here, you're just elevated above a little neighborhood. There's a little mosque to see and the Catholic church, but it's nothing super fancy. It's just another nice walk. It's really not as hot as it felt earlier. Tiny bit overcast, so that really helps. And the futsal court, which I guess is the soccer, football? Futsal. But it's on a concrete surface. And there are just hundreds of workers in this park. If they're doing gardening, or there must be 20, I'll call them rangers or security guards. I mean, there's rules you have to abide by, but they're not too tricky. I don't think they're interested in drones, dogs. Although I don't know, it might be this section. You'll have to do a little more research on that. I know the dog park is over there, and I think this road you're allowed to have the dog on a leash. And then I'll show you the road that runs parallel with Plonchit Road. Supposedly you can have the dog on a leash. And this is the end of Sukhumvit Soi 4. Compared to the Nana Plaza side, it's super mellow down here. From here to walk to Nana Plaza and Sukhumvit, the Nana BTS station, I would say 10 minutes if you're walking super slow, 15. So here we are. Let's see. So that's the man-made lake. We came in over here. This is that's where Asok is. We walked down here. That's where the Green Mile started. Came here to Soi 10, and it was closed. So the Green Mile's closed to here, and right here you go up and over the road on some stairs. And the newish section, I was there a day or two after it opened, and it was nice and clean, but there was still some, I won't say dangerous, but just little drop-offs that you had to be careful. Let me see if I can get to the mile from over here. So maybe they've continued to work on that. Just be mindful. here in Thailand, I'm coming from California, and I'm sure it's the same in many other places around the world. They wouldn't consider making a sidewalk, say, with a 2-foot drop and nothing, no guardrail, no warning, no nothing. And that place is not really lit up at night. So just be a little mindful. There are plenty of folks that get hurt walking around Bangkok if it's uneven sidewalk or just a hole right in the middle of the sidewalk. It's much better than many places. I've been in many parts of Asia, Southeast Asia, all over the world, and it's no different in Mexico and Panama and Colombia. Heck, at least there are nice sidewalks here. You go to many other sections here in Southeast Asia and Philippines, you're walking in mud. Okay, so this is where the mile ends at Soi 4, and then you take this bridge up and over and down there. I think this little section is still closed. Let me walk across the taxi traffic here and take a look. We're not far from crossing over on Plonchit Road. We could easily do it from the park, but I just want to see exactly what's going on. Okay, well now I see why this section is still closed. They are building a bike path, so you don't have to carry your bike up the stairs. So there you go. So you can see the Soi 10 bridge, and they've got this little section closed. This is what I'm saying. They'll probably open this up before they put any kind of rails on the side of that little bridge. I'm not going to fall into this muddy water, but if you're just kind of stumbling around looking at your phone, it's not super safe until some rails go up, and I assume they will soon enough. But in a hurry to get it open and it's completed, come check it out, it might go without rails for quite a while. So that's why the little section is closed here, and eventually you'll be able to come across, take your bike, and they're still working pretty hard over here, so you don't have to deal with that set of stairs. And I'm not sure how it's going to work. We'll see when we get down there to Plonchit Road. There's going to be no, I don't know. It looks like it's going elevated there, so maybe you're gonna go up pretty high and then just be able to slide over down into or across Plonchit Road. Let's go down and take a peek. That looks like the car. It's a little lighter. That Boone just bought. She just got the little, and I think that's a little older. She got a 2022 Mazda 2, that same sedan, but it's a super dark gray. Well, what did it have on it? 11,000 miles. So that's nice. Her boss, and she works for the department that for a large bank, and they do all the car financing. So part of that is they see the repos, the repossession cars, and that's what this was. Somebody couldn't make the payments, whatever the case was, and turned the car back into the bank, or it was taken, and she got it for a song. Really nice deal. So let's cut on over there, and I know from here I'm gonna have to walk up some stairs. Yeah, okay, so right here, the dog friendly zone. There you go. And this section over here, not so dog friendly. I think it's just the path that goes around the park. I don't know. I was gonna say over by that Med Park area. I don't think you can walk through there. And this is a little murky, but you have to do what you have to do to have pumping stations. I'm sure that's what this is, or something similar. And there's a canal over here. And when it rains over here in Bangkok, it rains not for hours, it rains in inches. And yeah, you'll get some flooding around the city that folks will complain about. Oh, can you believe there's 6 inches of water here? Yeah, 6 inches of water just came down in the past 24 hours. I can't believe it's not 2 feet of water permanently. They do a really nice job of cleaning it up. And you know what? I need to be up here. How do I get up there? Over here somewhere. Maybe at the base. There's a set of stairs. But that's where we're ultimately going, the little bridge that goes over Plonchit Road. Yeah, I'm no expert on any of this. I think I'm going to go outside the park here, and surely there's a set of stairs to get up there. And don't call me Shirley. Again, here's the bike path they're making. So hopefully they'll get some rails on it and it won't be an issue. And this is the quit smoking section. So all this right here, I guess it's pedestrians to the right and bikes, somewhat flexible, but it gets pretty darn busy here in the evening time. I don't know, at 4:30 in the morning, maybe it's equally as busy, but you come out here at 7, 8, 9 p.m. and it's bumper to bumper, people. Yeah, I see a way to get up there. So let's exit the park here. And I'm no expert. I'll be driving around a lot lately now that I'll have access to Boone's car. But this, I always called, that's obviously the highway that goes to Waihen. Maybe this is Plonchit Road. Yeah, in fact, that makes sense because my dentist is right here on the right. And they're on Plonchit Road. So I mistakenly said we're going over Plonchit Road. We're also going over, and we are, but we're also going over the highway. How do I get up there? I see a set of stairs right there, but I guess I should have went through the park up here. There's a chicken man. Anyhow, not that big a deal. And this skywalk, they call it, it just wraps all around the park. It's really nice, and it's all lit up in the evening. Really beautiful time to come take a walk through the park. All right, let me set this down and run across the street. And I'm not, hit my elbow there. I'm not sure what's going on here. This is also, this is also some construction. So there you go. They're still working on the bike path, which is going to lead in there and go across the same bridge I'm using. I believe on the other side, the bike path is done. When they finally opened this section that they worked on for like a year, I saw the bike path on that side. Let's get over and check it out. And if you need the dentist, right up here where you see that truck on the left side, right about, 5 more seconds, he'll be at my dental hospital, Bangkok International Dental Hospital. I've had great luck in there. I don't have dental insurance. I had MetLife Federal, and it was kind of useless with, you would get something done over here, get your teeth cleaned for whatever it was, 40 or 50 bucks, and you turn your receipts in and then give you back $5. And I was paying 50 or 60 bucks a month for the dental insurance, so I just got rid of that. Let's see, I think I can go either way. Don't know. One's a little bit more, I guess, handicapped accessible. It's not quite as steep as that. You'll see a lot of this around town. It's almost like, yeah, we're all set up for a wheelchair, and then it's this Indy 500 kind of ramp. And slowly, they're doing a better job. You can see some nice handrails here and a little bit less elevation. They're not going to put an elevator here anytime soon, but maybe that'll come someday. In fact, let me take this. I don't know if this section is completed. This would still be a little aggressive, I guess, on a wheelchair. And you know what? I don't know where this is going, but this isn't where I'm going. I thought right here would be a set of stairs to get up above. So let me make a U-turn. Yeah, so for now, I guess this is your only choice if you were on a wheelchair, and that's pretty darn steep. So hopefully things will improve. I've came pretty close to ending up in a wheelchair many times during my motocross racing days. There you go. So it's saying take a right turn and go down into the park, and this will be the new bike lane. And they painted it green again. And we'll go over the highway. Just over there, you can barely make out the train leaving Plonchit heading to Nana, and that's how you'd get on this toll road. If you went off in this direction, looks like somebody cut a bar here to do a little time-lapse photography. From here, you'd go over one of the bridges, I forget which, Rama 3 Bridge, I don't know, over the Chao Phraya River, and then you're on your way towards Hua Hin. So let's start this section, and this all opened. I think this is all brand new. Yeah, in fact, I know it is, because this is the bike ramp they completed, call it 6 months ago. When I was here last time, they said, okay, everything's open, and down here it was open, and it's nice, but over here it was still closed. The last time I walked through here, maybe it was 4 months ago. Construction in progress, not yet open to the public. Okay, I don't want to freak anybody out. It looks like I could walk through there, but let me just go down below. And it looks like they have improved the little guard barriers since the last time I was here. This isn't anything, but you used to just have this drop off in the dark. Maybe they're gonna, well, not maybe, I'm sure they're gonna put some lights up here, but this is just the bike section, so I don't know if they're gonna light the whole trail, but they definitely did more work to not let you twist an ankle flipping off the right or left side of this little paved path. And like I say, it's no great shakes, just a traditional neighborhood. It's kind of interesting to see the old wooden houses, and you look down below and it's just like a cool little local neighborhood. I know the last time we were here, there was a little basket sitting there, and Boone yelled down to the guy below and put her 10 baht coin in there, whatever it was, sent it down, and he sent up a bottle of water. So there's a little entrepreneurial flair going on with some of the stores below. Yeah, see, like here, you could just fall off the edge here, so I'm sure that is in the works to do a little something, I would assume. If not, just be a little careful, because there are gonna be bikes whizzing through here. And I came through here in the dark, and there were a lot of people walking, and I was thinking that'd really wreck somebody's day to take a step off to the left here. Here's the basket. Yeah, there's a little store down there. You want a bottle of water or a Coke? Just yell on down and we'll send it up in the basket. And some more local housing. Those places, I know it's just an older house. It's probably not air conditioned, but they have a little style. There's that mosque. What is the name? Right there is the Catholic Church. Right there, Holy Redeemer. It's at the end of Soi Room Rudy, which the hotel's changed from the Novotel to the 4 Points right at the Plonchit BTS. But that's Soi Room Rudy. It doesn't turn into Sukhumvit until you go one more stop to Nana, and that's Soi 1 on the one side and Soi 2 on the other. But up this way, the next street is Soi Room Rudy, then Wireless Road. I forget what's next, and then Swan Long? Yeah, I think. It's a pretty fancy road. And if you're looking for a Catholic church, there it is. And the pointy building, that's also on Soi Room Rudy. Well, it goes between that and Wireless Road, the 5-star Conrad Hotel. And the brand new Conrad is being completed fast right next to Benjakitti Park and the M-Sphere Mall in the Prompong area. It's gone up really fast. And they just work on those 24 hours a day. And if you're wanting to get your boundaries, there's the crane. And that is the One Bangkok Mall, and just across the street from where we're heading, Lumpini Park. And also at the bottom of that building you're at the Japanese embassy. And you know what? This is another reason to not be out here filming around. I think my phone, it rarely happens at 1080. At 4K, it'll overheat. But I've been just shooting my mouth off for I don't know how long, and I looked down and it wasn't filming. Oh well, I think it's getting hot. I might have to let it have a break. But what I was saying was this building, I'm not sure, but I think that is part of the expansion of the U.S. Embassy. I know it goes in between Wireless Road over here and Room Rudy over here, and there's just a big steel gate in the back for, I don't know, some Marines standing by to open it. But from what I understood, it was a big construction outfit out of Texas doing most of that construction. And I guess the bid has to be a U.S. company more so than local folks doing the building, and maybe somebody kind of sneaking in there and installing something we don't want installed, that type of thing. But I was talking to a guy the other day, real interesting guy, and he worked in the embassy, and he's working in another embassy in another country right now, but he still loves Thailand. He still comes back to visit as much as he can. And he told me he was in the, we'll say the maintenance department, and he said, yeah, a Thai, whatever, AC guy would come in. We just had to escort them. Now, obviously, there are some areas, I'd guess, that are super, super sensitive, but I don't know. They still need air conditioning. Now, I'm always talking about living over in Sukhumvit and all, and people will say, yeah, you know, I like your videos, but I definitely want to live over by Lumpini and over near Wireless Road. All this area is going to come at a premium. There are just so many diplomats around here that there's always some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, they just don't waste a lot of time building 30 square meter apartments over here. It's 60, 70, 80, 200 square meter apartments, and they're going to be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 US a month, because there's just a lot of money flowing over here, and everybody's on per diems and expense accounts, and there's not a lot of retired mailmen looking to get an affordable apartment anywhere near the U.S. Embassy or any of these embassies. Now, I've said that in the past, and somebody, he left a comment, yeah, those guys, you know, they don't pay for any of that. It's all free. Nothing is free. I don't know if the U.S. government or the government of Australia, somebody is paying $5,000, $6,000 a month, or even $3,000 for that beautiful apartment. I don't think any Thai owner is super impressed. You're some kind of diplomat, and oh, here, just take this place for free. Somebody's paying for it. And I get it. If you're the third in command at the embassy of New Zealand, you probably rate a nice apartment in Bangkok. I have no problem with that. I was a mailman my whole life. Nobody gave me an apartment, and I wouldn't expect one. Now we're walking over Waituyo Road, which is also known as Wireless Road, and not even a 5-minute walk up in this direction. You'll be at the U.S. Embassy on both sides of the street, I think. Where am I? Yep, that's correct. And just a short distance past that, maybe 10 total minutes. I think it's down by that building. I think that's one of the bank buildings, is Sukhumvit and the Plonchit BTS. Now, when you get here, you don't want to go over here. That is Saracen Road down below. And the new dog park is right over here. So we'll go take a look there. Oh, look, they are installing a lift here. That I do not believe was there the last time I walked through here. So they're doing their best to make it accessible for everyone. This looks like the same type of aftermarket deal that is at the BTS stations. Oh, look at this. This is another way to get down below. Okay. Yeah, that's why I have to keep getting out here and looking around. You might say, or I might say to myself, I've made 10 videos on Lumpini, but things just change every day. Yeah, so this is kind of a nice, easy glide to get down or take the lift. Before, all that was available were these steps, and put your bike through here, which is a little sketchy. I would see some kids like riding down there. Okay, yeah, so anyways, when you get here, now I'm sure this is probably going to guide you in over to that new dog park or somewhere. That's kind of the parking lot for Lumpini. I'll go back and take a look at that section. I want to see the new dog park, but I'm taking you the old school way, straight ahead, just on the other side of that building that has the rain cover. That is a public school, I believe, and that is one of the main entrances to get into Lumpini. Now, that's not where Siloam exit of the MRT is. That is over there on the other side of the park. And you know what? I'm a dummy. I've been pointing at that building, and that's not the One Bangkok. There's so much construction going on. That's over in Siloam. The One Bangkok is over here. And yeah, there used to be, it's in the trees there, there used to be a big set of cranes up on top of that building, so I assumed that's what I was looking at from Benjakitti, but sorry about that. I don't know what this emergency box is. Huh. Don't know. Emergency SOS button. I know the police station. It's right across the street in Lumpini, somewhere. It's either here. It's close. When you're from Terminal 21 and then up into this area, you're dealing with Lumpini police. When you get down to my neighborhood in Phrom Phong, you're dealing with Thong La police. They're on Sukhumvit Soi 55. And up here, well, again, everything changes. I thought they used to be right there behind that fence. Don't know. I need to stop assuming things. Even when you think you have it figured out, everything just totally changes overnight. I remember filming a video on Sukhumvit Soi 11 where the old Charlie Browns and what was it, Cheap Charlie's, and it was a beer garden after the pandemic for years and years. And I was walking by saying, this beer garden, you know, it's where Cheap Charlie's used to be. And I put out the video, I don't remember, 7 days later, something like that. And the beer garden disappeared within that 7 days. They just, overnight, get out of here, we're building a hotel. And then it never happened. They're just now breaking ground, I think a year and a half later. But just that quick, things will just disappear because everybody was saying, how many years old is this video? And I'm, dude, it's like seven days old. What do you mean the beer garden's gone? Okay, that might be the police station. I don't know. Anyhow, Lumpini police is around here somewhere. And that is the One Bangkok. And again, in Thai style, they were saying over and over, whatever it is, 5 or 6 buildings at the One Bangkok and the new MRT station and the new mall, the One Bangkok. But they said the highlight, yeah, right there it says Lumpini Police Station at the bus stop, but don't know. Doesn't look like a lot of police activity going on there. Anyways, they said the highlight of the One Bangkok will be the new tallest building in all of Thailand, and but it was going to take years to complete, and there were all kind of activity going on, and now nothing. So maybe that's changed. I see the Ritz-Carlton there, so that's a beautiful hotel. Here on Wireless, you're going to have all of that, all the 5-star hotels. The assistant ambassador to the Netherlands, he's probably not staying next to me at the Holiday Inn Express on Soi 11. And here's that school. So here you go. We just walked into one of the entrances. Again, no drones, certified guide dogs only. And I'm gonna assume, it only makes sense that if we walk through the park here, off to the right, we'll be able to get into the new dog park. And I want to take a look. And then there was some kind of Netflix display, some show I never heard of. I don't know if it's a kid show or what, but they had all kinds of displays in the water for it. So let me take a look. I should have maybe ran that by Boone. I know she dragged me across town for, I don't remember, was it Stranger Things? It was one of those. No, Squid Games. They had a thing that came to Bangkok in a huge swing. Do you remember the Squid Games swing? And you could stand in line to do it, but when she realized it was a 30-minute line, she said, I'm going to pass. And we sat across the way and had lunch and just watched people jump rope. You know, I'm not even going to go into the park. I'm going to walk through the parking lot here because I know the dog park is over there, and it looks like when I looked at it online, it took over part of the parking lot. So I shouldn't miss it, and then I'll take you into the park. You know, and my camera feels nice and cool. I don't think it was overheating. I think I was just a dummy, and I didn't push the button, or I pushed the button off, but I wonder how much I missed there because I was walking down that little path. I was talking for quite a while. Yeah, again, this is just like Boone's car. This one's red. Hers is dark gray. Little Mazda 2. I'm super happy for her. Heck, I never bought a used car that had 11,000 miles on it. 111,000 maybe. Yeah, heck, I hope I can get through there. And where is that? Oh, this is the dog park over here, I'd guess. I'm trying to figure out where that bike path is coming down. Well, there it is right there. No, this isn't the dog park. And there's the bike path. There's a monitor lizard. All kinds of monitor lizards here. I'm no monitor lizard expert, but I think if you want to come down and see them and see 50 of them, you need to come down when it's a little cooler. I think they're smarter than me as far as not hanging out in this heat. I see a doggy on the trash can over there, so maybe this is part of the dog park. Let me go over there and see. I know there's all kinds of signs that says brought to you by the Japanese embassy, and they built it, I guess, or at least sponsored it. And then I'm hoping, yeah, there must be, because again, I'm not a driver, but there must be a way to pull into here and get into the park over there. And we'll go track down this Netflix display. And there is no shortage of guards and rangers and caretakers. So here's the dog park sign. There's just nobody here. I get it. People have to walk or work. The BMA Dog Park, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce. Oh, I said the Japanese Embassy, I'm sorry. And the people that don't have to work, there's no reason to be out here in the middle of the day. Okay, so here's the no leash area. It's not huge, but it's better than nothing. I don't think they have a no leash area at Benjakitti. Okay, so in here you can let the dogs run around and play together, and then the other part, they have to be on a leash. Let's see what this says. So there's a water station and a waste bin, and I saw something online. There's a hose, well, I guess that's the water station, to clean the animal, cool it down. The BMA Dog Park was established through a joint development with the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration in commemoration of the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce. Since its inception in 1954, JCC devoted itself for over 70 years to fostering economic development as well as engaging in various social contribution activities of both Thailand and Japan. Fair enough. There's all kinds of things like that. There's the Japanese, I think it's the Japanese Friendship Bridge. There'll be all kinds of artwork in every park, from a gift from the government of Norway and that type of thing. So nice little dog park, and that's Saracen Road over here, and is it Lang Sawan? Lang Sawan would be over here. I'm doing a lot of pointing today, but I'm in a pointing mood, I guess. Lang Sawan, some high-end real estate, really nice, and you're right at the Central World Mall. And what's the BTS station? It's Plonchit, and then it goes to Chitlom. So from here, take a 10-minute walk, you're down at Chitlom, and I'm sure there are plenty of places that'll take your 60, 70, 80,000 baht to rent you a small place that you can have your dog. If you're one of those folks in my comment section, I can't have anything less than 300 square meter. All right, be prepared to pay 4,000 or 5,000 US dollars. And oftentimes in central Bangkok, there's just nothing that size. They'll say something along the lines of, I'm prepared to take an old place. I don't care if it's 200 years old. It's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars in central Bangkok. You need to get out in the province if you need that kind of space at an affordable rate. So that is nice to see, and I'm not even a dog owner. I'm a dog lover. I try to get Boone, and I've even said, oh, now that you have the car, we can load up your little dog. It's just a little Chihuahua. That dog's lazy. She's like, my dog doesn't want to go anywhere. He likes air conditioning. Roger that. I don't know, I'm a San Diego guy, and nothing better than taking a dog to the beach and watching it jump around in the waves, get a little crazy. She was looking at that little car right there, the Yaris. You know, all entry-level cars. I'm kind of glad she got that Mazda. It's just a little bit more metal. Not that that's going to make a huge difference, but it could in the event of an accident. Just never a fan of those really, really tiny cars, but I get it. They're affordable, and she's saved the better part of her life, so I'm super proud of her. I guess that's the car. Oh, that's the hatchback. That's a Mazda 2 hatchback, and I think that's the little older model. I was actually looking at these on Facebook. They're nice little runaround cars. And I had the Mazda 3 forever, right there, that car. I didn't sport it up like this guy with new wheels and all. Mine was just a run around town guy, but I put 120,000 miles on that thing, and it was going strong. And then not even a month before I retired, somebody plowed into the back of it. Yeah, that's another hatchback. A lot of Mazdas over here, but there are also a lot of Toyota and Hondas, and Boone told me there's aftermarket products. Again, she's in the car business, and I guess they have to repair some cars at the bank. I don't know. And she said there's not as many aftermarket products for the Mazda. But the car insurance she just got, everything is to be repaired at Mazda with original parts. The hatchback does look a little smaller. It's still a good looking little car, but I like the hatchback, but it looks a little smaller than the sedan she got. Same engine, same everything, just one's a sedan, one's a hatchback, and beggars can't be choosers when the boss puts out the word, hey, we're looking for a good car here, and everybody was in agreement. You're not going to get much better than a 4-year-old car. It's actually a 3-year-old car. It's a 2022, but it was sold in the middle of 2023, and 10,000 kilometers. Luckily, it was a decent color, just a dark gray. I prefer white. It's easier to not wash your car all the time. I'm not a fan of black. White, silver's good. You can see silver, white, white, white. That might be her color right there. Again, that's I think that is her color. I'm colorblind. No, that's not gray, is it? That's greenish. Don't know. Yeah, that's definitely greenish from my colorblind point of view. And hers is definitely a dark gray. Anyhow, that'll be nice. I was thinking it's about time for me to pick up a used car, or maybe even a new car, and now I don't have to. I can use her car, which is great. I still can't figure out how to get into the park. I'm not jumping through the hedges. Straight up ahead, I'm forgetting the name, Henri Dumont. the guy who started the Red Cross, that is where you go to donate blood. Okay, here's the park, because I went there with Boone. You can do it at the mall and other places, but that's the headquarters. And I think she said every 10th year or something, 5th year, you have to go in there and recertify. I'm not sure. Plus, she got some kind of card that they punch, and she was saying you can't get that at the mall locations. Something. Anyhow, here's the duck boats. It looks like they've hid them away back here, and where the duck boats normally go on the other side there is the new Netflix display. And it's a pretty huge park. You can see it goes all the way around. But I'm going to walk backwards here. I don't like to be that guy walking against the flow. And there's definitely a flow to the sidewalks and the parks here in Thailand. You can see everybody's kind of coming this way, and that's where the old expression "go with the flow" comes from. Unless you want to just be sticking out, walking into everybody. Hold on, Boone's giving me a call. Let me answer. And some more of these miniature dinosaurs hanging out. And I never noticed this. It looks like some dummy broke his toes off, but the old monitor lizard statue. And Boone just told me the name of this. It's some kind of, okay, I can see it now. One Piece, I guess. She says it's a cartoon on Netflix, and they've taken away the little duck boats and replaced them with, I assume, little One Piece, whatever they are, pirate ship boats. There seems to be a bunch of people over there. They're kind of running around everywhere today. Fair amount of people in the park on this weekday. Maybe the Netflix is a bigger deal than I know. And this is where in, I think it's part of December, for sure January, the nice cooler part of the season. They have the symphony in the park, and I know we came, I think it's on Sundays, we came on a Saturday once and they were doing a play. I think those flowers are from Valentine's. Still up here in March. Netflix, One Piece, into the Grand Line. And that is the line, I guess, to, well, I see two lines. Don't know what's going on, but I'm assuming it's to go around on the little pirate boats. The pirate pedal boats. Maximum 2 adults or adults and child. Free admission, first come, first serve. Service hours 8 to 15 March, 7 to 1, 1 and 2, 2 to 6:30. I don't know. Looks a little complicated. I won't be waiting in line. But come on down and check it out. Looks like a pretty solid line for, I see 10 boats out there maybe. Let me zoom in. I have to keep talking over this music, and if this is some kind of copyrighted Netflix song. Well, it's pretty official like. Everybody's having a great time. Lots of selfies happening. Let me get on down by the water if I can. Maybe there's a few more boats than I thought. Not a ton. One Piece, Lumpini Park. I hope that's what it's called, One Piece. It's spelled a little funny, but I assume it means like a piece of gold, pieces of gold, treasure. Who knows? I'm not up on my Netflix cartoons. Well, I guess they're paddle boats. I don't know what I was thinking. They're moving along pretty quick. I thought they were maybe little electric boats, but not paddle boats. And you tell me, I'm gonna go with one piece. And I've got to get some stickers. Maybe some small, tasteful ones. Like this guy. Alright, this guy's getting a little carried away. That's getting a little too big. Nobody leaves sober. I guess it's just here a short time. Like I said earlier, I'm usually 6, 7, maybe 8 days ahead on my videos. Putting them out every day. I gotta do as many as I can. Have a long night and put out 3 or 4 videos for the next 5 or 6 days. So it'll probably be over. Maybe I'll try to rest this one up. You can run on down here. You got the weekend. What is today? Wednesday? I guess it's over by Sunday. Just in case you didn't hear about it. A lot of people ask me how you hear about different events around town. I'm on a couple of different websites. I think it's BKK Magazine. That's a pretty good one. I didn't hear about this. I just kind of bumped into it, or maybe I told Boone I was coming over to Lumpini and she said, oh, I think they have the Netflix thing going on. But check out that BKK Magazine and it'll tell you different music festivals or happenings like this around town. I'm sure there are other ways, but I don't really put my ear to the ground that much. I'm just out and about every single day. I just kind of wander into these things. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd go out of my way to go to the Netflix cartoon thing, but it's kind of cool to see. There's the train. And I will show you that Siloam MRT. Now we're on the direct opposite side of where you'd come in off the Green Mile. And if you want to jump on the blue line at Sukhumvit, zip on over here and whatever it is, 7-8 minutes, probably less than that. Right off to the left here, just a 2-minute walk. That is the Siloam subway, and you can go over there and cross across this busy area, and the off in the distance there, that is the BTS tracks, and that's Saladang BTS down the way. From here, 6-7 minute walk. Again, it's not super close for a junction, but that's it. That's Lumpini Park. A great spot. Hey, so there you go, a pretty good walk from Terminal 21 over here. Let me zoom in. All right, at the very end there, if you see that pointy golden building, that is the Grand Central Point Hotel at the top of Terminal 21 Mall, where we started this little walk at the Asok BTS station. So come check it out. Benjakitti, the Green Mile, Lumpini, it's all good. Bangkok does I already said it, they do a really nice job with these parks, and I'm sure it helps the green spaces. I know in Mexico City, was it Chapultepec Park? They call it the Green Lung. And there's still a lot of pollution in Mexico City at very high elevation. That doesn't help matters, but all this greenery, it helps with some of the smog. Maybe people will still say, no, it's still terrible, but it would probably be much worse with all these trees. So thanks for following along and out walking around and enjoying Bangkok with me. Come on over here. This is a great city. I'm all about the partying and the energy of the city, but just the mellow day-to-day things like checking out the park and different things that come up, like the Netflix or Squid Games, that kind of thing. That's also kind of cool to see at times. So I appreciate you watching, and I'm out filming and showing you the city, and then hopefully you can get out here and save yourself a little time and narrow down what you want to take a further look at. So we'll catch you later. All right, goodbye from Bangkok, Thailand. See ya.